Now, especially for Paul, because I did tell you a sort of stand-up routine last time, all about a lady in a Chinese restaurant, and he assured me that he felt that I could turn it into a poem, and I have. So I'm afraid we're getting the same story again. Some of you heard it last time, but instead of a stand-up routine, it is now a poem, and of course it's called I Want a Fish. So we had a day out by the sea, my lovely wife Eileen and me. It was a nearby town, I won't say where. I don't want to embarrass or to scare the restaurant owner in this tale. I will keep his privacy without fail. Anyway, we wanted a meal, as very hungry we did feel. We fancied a Chinese, but not a takeaway. There were two open in town that day. There was one posh with an expensive menu a la carte, and one with a banquet, causing us with less money to part. There was a sign saying all was for $6.99. There were 30 lidded dishes, so that seemed fine. We entered the place and saw from ceiling to floor resplendent decorations of Chinese design, golden lions, red velvet and lettering so fine. There was a small Chinese man seated behind a counter. With a door behind, he did look at us and had a ponder. When he asked us quite fast and loud, "You want a menu or banquet of which I am proud?" I said we wanted a banquet, and he so fast did turn, kicked open the door behind him, and did scream to several Chinese men, all with white teeth that did gleam, "Banquet, banquet, banquet, now!" They ran about. I felt I should mop a brow. Then I realised the shining tureens were all quite empty, and for me and Eileen they were cooking dishes aplenty. The Chinese guy said, "Help yourself to soup," which we filled our dishes with using a scoop. This was chicken and corn, totally delicious, not fattening and superbly nutritious. The rear door opened, out came waiters aplenty, carrying dishes for us, counting far more than 20. They filled the rows of empty tureens with hot food, said, "Help yourselves." They did. It was so good. Now, though we realised this food was here for the rest of the night, getting it all for us felt odd. We could not sample each dish, try as we might. We filled our plates and were enjoying the fresh hot meal when the door opened and a draught I did feel. I looked around and saw an old dear struggling on her Zimmer to get in there. She hobbled slowly in and came to rest, and the waiter called to her, did his best. "You want menu or you want banquet dish?" "No," she said, "I want a fish." He asked his questions again, "Menu or banquet dish?" Again she said, "I want a fish." He said, "The fish shop is next door." She turned around and nearly fell on the floor. She started to go out and he did shout, "But the fish shop is closed at present." She turned slowly round, looked stern, not pleasant. "I want a fish." She did us quite astonish. "But this is a Chinese restaurant," said he. "Is it?" She looked around. "Oh, dearie me. Do you want a menu or banquet?" he said again. I thought she would choose and I would say amen. "I want a fish," said she. I thought I'd make a plea. "It's lovely and hot and has just been made for us, quite delish." But she said again, "I want a fish." The waiter tried again with some anguish, but all she said was, "I want a fish." I said, "Try a dish." She said, "I want a fish." With that she turned around and hobbled out. Of foreign food she was in grave doubt. She'd rather walk slowly a long way than not eat British that day. After she'd gone, we all looked at each other with some anguish, and all at once, aloud we said, "She wanted a fish!" Thank you.